Hey guys, it's Bree. I wanted to do my, I guess it's like a summer comics haul meets to be read. I'm somebody who I like to let my comics build, so this is basically all of the comics I've gotten over summer, with some exceptions. Have been reading Black Science, and so those have been moved from my TBR pile. I have quite a few things to show you. I'm going to start with the single issues, and then we'll do trades. So some of these I actually haven't read at all yet. Like I said, I like to let them build and then kind of binge read comics, so you'll see when I'm reading, I'll spend like a full week where all I read is comics, and I read a ton of them. So first thing I have is the run of Star Wars Princess Leia. This is a Marvel series, actually. And it's 5 issues long. It's kind of revamping Leia and going, I think, through her time as a member of the Rebel Alliance. So I'm excited about these. They came very highly recommended from a friend of mine, and I just kind of haven't done it. Sorry, Jacob. And so that's on my to-be-read list. I have the first 2 issues of Carol Corps. This is kind of a spin-off of Captain Marvel, and I really have liked some of what I've seen from Kelly Sue DeConnick, so I figured I'd pick this up and see if I liked it, basically. I have issues 3 and 4 of UFOlogy. This is kind of a fun series. This is a Boom comic, and it follows a pair of teenagers in a town where aliens are kind of landing, and all sorts of weird paranormal kind of stuff starts happening to them. They're both kind of outcast kids, and so when this happens, they kind of band together to figure out what's going on. It has some fantastic coloring, and its style is a little bit webcomic-y to me. But it's been fun so far, and so I'm going to keep with it. It's only going to be a 5 issues run. I don't know if they'll be doing a trade of this one. They do have a trade of the Princess Leia comic coming out. I also have an Image comic series called Roche Limit. I have 1, 2, and 3. These are kind of interesting. I've been looking to try and get into some more sci-fi kind of comics because I find that I really like the way they tend to be laid out and the direction that they tend to take. So I'm interested to look at this one. It starts off with this just huge explosion, so that has to be a good sign, right? And it has some really awesome cover art. That's what I have in single issues. I do have a ton of trades. So I've been trying to explore a little bit with the superhero comics that are available. I'm not a really big superhero comics person. They tend to just not really do it for me, but I don't want that to be like a hard and fast rule, so I keep giving it a try. I went ahead and I picked up a copy of Black Widow. This is a 2010 run. It's by Dwayne Swinski and Manuel Garcia. It is really dark inside. All of it tonally is very much like this kind of cold, dark, heavily shadowed kind of artwork, and it looks like it's just very well directed, with a lot of action and movement, which tends to be something I really like. Also, I feel kind of bad because I've never read any Black Widow stuff, but I want to, so I'm doing it. I also picked up the new run of Batgirl. This is Cameron Stewart, Brendan Fletcher, Babs Tarr, and Maris Wicks. And it looks really kind of fun and very brightly colored. And I think it's supposed to be fairly funny and fairly, like, millennial-oriented, I guess you might say, where it's integrated a lot of, like, newer technology and trying to be really hip and up-to-date. So that'll be interesting. I don't know if that either of those two are going to really like hit home for me, but I'm excited for them. I'm excited to give them a go. I did, of course, pick up the new volume of Saga. This is Saga Volume 5. And I would show you the inside, but it is graphic in a way that is maybe not necessarily the most appropriate. Here. This one looks like maybe I can show you this page. Fiona Staples does the artwork for this, and Brian K. Vaughan does the script, I think. And it's a fantastic series. It's won Eisners and Hugos and all sorts of fun stuff. So this is the continuation of that. I've also been reading Black Science. This is by Rick Remender, Matteo Scalera, and Moreno Dinicio. And this is kind of a cool series. It's about a scientist who creates a machine that lets him jump between pillars, but the machine gets sabotaged, and so now it's kind of just jumping around randomly, and he's trying to save his family, and his whole team is kind of falling to pieces because it's super stressful and scary, and they basically keep jumping into terrible places. His two children are along for the ride, and so it's a lot about them and the relationship they have with their father, who is kind of a anarchist who's obsessed with his work, very distant from his family, and so there's all sorts of course, family problems involved there. And I really like this one. I am really impressed, one, with the direction of it. So there's a lot of really, I think, well thought out panels, and just I like the direction that this story is going. I think the artwork is just so vivid and super cool. There is just some really crazy characters and creatures, and Scalera and Dinicio really bring them to life. And because I've been really loving Rick Remender, I have read Low before, but I wanted to make sure that I picked it up in physical copy because I had it as a PDF copy. And this is kind of a tale that takes place on an irradiated Earth. It, again, has just that fantastic artwork and sense of movement and conveying emotion. I'm just in love with the stuff that's been coming out of Image that revolves around Rick Remender. He's been partnering with some fantastic artists lately. In this one, he's partnered with Greg Ticini, and it is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I do also have Comixology copies of Bitch Planet, which I don't have physical copies to show you, but I'm really excited that it started up again. If you haven't read Bitch Planet, do it. Just do it and then come back and thank me. And I will let you know about the comics in here that I have not yet read and what I think about them. Here is my big stack of comics. This weighs like 6 or 7 pounds. It's a lot heavier than it would be if it were like hardcover paperbacks and stuff like that mixed together. These are some thick paper. And I'm really excited about them. If there's anything you want to hear me talk about, please let me know. If you have read any of these comics, definitely let me know, because I, one, love talking about comics, but two, I would love to get some input on what kind of comics I should be reading if I liked these. That's one of my favorite things about going into the comic shop. It's one of the big reasons that I go into my local comic store instead of just buying off of Amazon, because the recommendations and the enthusiasm for comics among comic lovers is just irreplaceable. And so share with me. I'll tell you what I liked and you tell me what you liked. I hope you're having a fantastic week. I'll talk to you later. Bye.